This is Infotainment. Ukamva sasi kulira choncho umaziwa kuti nkhani za msanguluso zabwera tikuzeni kuti kunali chani nkhani za msanguluso komanso kukhalenso chani nkhani za msanguluso. And my name is Sam Banda Jnr. The sound of the sassy brings the vibe for the program, and this is what we call songs of our ancestors. Without the sassy, the program is not here. And in this edition of Infotainment, we look at the International Women's Day, celebrating the works of women out there, and we look at women in arts. We'll give you a short performance of an all-female band all the way from Lilongwe, the Daughters Band. And again, we also look at the French Schools Drama Festival. The 33rd French Schools Drama Festival took place last weekend in Lilongwe, where Jacaranda School for Orphans, all the way from Chigumula in Blantyre, triumphed. We also look at the French Embassy engaging creatives on the way forward on how to push the creative sector. We've got lots more to tell you in this edition of Infotainment, a basket for arts and entertainment. All you can do is stay right there as I bring you more in Infotainment, a basket for arts and entertainment. Now, as I said in our headlines, I did say that the month of March is basically a very important month in terms of celebrating women across the world. And March 8 was International Women's Day, where we look at, among others, the works of women in different sectors. And we wanted to look at women in the arts. Women have contributed hugely to the growth of the creative sector in the world, and we've seen them putting all their efforts, making their contributions in different artistic forms. You talk of drama, you talk of poems, you talk of visual art, you talk of every artistic form. They're into it, and music as well. They've made huge contributions to music. But then the past years we've seen a lot of women playing second fiddle to men, basically in terms of music, where most of them relegated themselves to vocals and dancing. But then we've seen a change over the years, where we've seen women partaking in even playing different instruments, showing that they have all the potential. In Malawi, Music Crossroads is one of the institutions which has created a band, an all-female band that is known as the Daughters, and they've been performing for long. They've composed their own songs. They have members who play instruments, and we just wanted to show you a short performance of the Daughters Band. They were actually recording themselves in Mzuzu, where they are camping for the Girls in Arts project. We just want to show you what they can do, appreciating the works of women in the arts. Let's see what the Daughters Band can do.
We are the Daughters Band, and all ladies band, as you can see. And we like to give you one song titled "My Songs," and this song was composed by this band.
Yeah, that's the Daughters Band, an all-female band all the way from Music Crossroads in Lilongwe. And one of the leading vocalists, that's Chisomo Chimoto, a sister to Skefa Chimoto, and on the bass, Falis Kumdana. So all good, especially in terms of empowering women. It's not all about only doing vocals, but as women they can also play instruments. So big up to the Daughters Band. We do hope we are going to see more women bands out there, especially in propelling the creative sector in the country. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket for arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banda Jr. Now, moving out of music, we go to drama. Last weekend, Likuni Boys Secondary School in Lilongwe played host to the 33rd edition of the French Schools Drama Festival, which was happening basically for the first time in Lilongwe. The past editions have seen the competition happening in the southern region, that's in Lilongwe, and 7 finalists battled it out during the grand finale that saw at the very end Jacaranda School for Orphans all the way from Chigumura in Blantyre coming out top with their play titled Mai. And then on the second was Marymount Girls Secondary School all the way from Zuzu. They were the defending champions because they won it in 2020, but they failed to defend it. They came second. And on third was the host, actually, Likuni Boys. And on fourth was Kaseye Girls all the way from Chitipa. So it was a battle that saw the judges led by one of the award-winning filmmakers, that's Joyce Muhango Chavula, saying that it was a tough competition, but one had to come out top, and that's Jacaranda School for Orphans. And then there were also the individual winners. Jacaranda produced Mustafi, that's Mustafi, who was the best actor, and then there was also the best actress, that's French speaking, which went to Sandra Chirimani from Jacaranda. And then the best speaker of French male was Moses Nyirenda from Likuni Boys. We have the highlights, and we had time to speak to the French Chancellor, and the French Chancellor for Cooperation and Cultural Action, that's Ludovic Kokoni, as well as French Honorary Consul to Malawi, that's Luc Deschamps. So we'll see the highlights as well as the interviews we had, as well as from the French teacher from Jacaranda School for Orphans, that's Melody Pili. Let's see the highlights.
Nice, I'm telling you. Very excited, but just and we are so thankful to the kids because they put in so much work, and then they were like, I'm sure they work so hard. Everything happened. No, you know what? When we started, the competition was so hard, but the competition was hard, but we had to fight also hard.
Very excited, and I was not expecting to be the best French speaker, so it was like wow. Like it was, I didn't expect it, so yeah. Actually I did not, I thought it would be on position 2, but then it came out we were on position 1. Yeah.
Well, I would say that I didn't see it coming, but then I should give thanks to my team, because I wouldn't have done it without my team. So yeah, I would say that Jacaranda students are putting Jacaranda on the map.
At first I was like doubting that, hey, maybe the other people were thinking better than me, but I had hope that maybe it can be possible that I may get the chance to be the best French speaker. Yeah, I was so happy and speechless. I didn't know how to do, like, hey, I was so surprised that, so this is the moment that I was waiting for. It has happened to me, so yeah, I was very happy, very happy. As you know already nowadays, many jobs in this country, there are few, so many jobs which can be found are international jobs. So as I researched there, I my research, I found out that the important languages which can make you pursue in different countries, and it's an international language, found that French is the language which is needed.
I was very impressed. I was very impressed because that was my first time in Malawi. I had no idea. And I just arrived, I just landed at 4 o'clock on 2 hours. After that I was just in this festival, and I knew that of course it's not a French-speaking country, so it was very surprised to see so many people speaking French.
I think today was a beautiful day and a great day for the youth in Malawi. First of all, it was the first time in the 33 editions we've had. Today was the 33rd edition of the French Drama Schools Festival. First time that we're in Lilongwe.
Hello, I'm Wala. Tu n'es pas pour des zappes de photos. Je fais ça, t'aimes mon achat. Déjà, vous m'avez. C'est à moi que tu demandes ça. Je fais ça déjà pour le service que je fais. Nous allons combattre la femme et la pauvreté. One. La terre Voilà, contre la pauvreté.
Yeah, that's the French Schools Drama Festival 33rd edition grand finale, which took place at Likuni Boys Secondary School in Lilongwe. And as I said, on number 1 was Jacaranda School for Orphans, all the way from Chigumula in Blantyre. On second position, Marymount Girls, all the way from Zuzu. And on third position, the host, Likuni Boys Secondary School. And they received different prizes, including trophies as well as medals. And for individual awards, they got bicycles as well as medals and dictionaries. Congratulations to the winners as well. And as we move on Martyrs Day, YDC Theatre, another youthful theatre group from Blantyre, staged a play titled Operation Mandala 1915. Usually they stage this play during the Chilembwe Day, that's in January, but they decided to stage this play during Martyrs Day, that's which falls on 3rd March every year. So we have some highlights from that performance coming from YDC, a play that basically talks about the story of one of the country's heroes, that's Reverend John Chirembwe. Let's see the highlights of the play, which was staged at Jacaranda Culture Center in Blantyre.
Landed back to his face and immediately set upon him. I stabbed him with my spear. He managed to run away to his bedroom and managed to grab a rifle. But I did not give him time to even load it. I stabbed him again, and with his eyes wide open, and his handlebar mustache dripping of blood and spittle, he shouted at his wife, "Honey, honey, take the children and run away." But before she could even contemplate a response, she was already in my arms. Please, can we just go to the details? And I heavily thrusted her into an armchair where she could do nothing but watch in paralysis. After 2 wretchedly misdirected blows fell on her husband. That moment, Abusa, I failed to do the job you sent me to do. Because that moment I had no option. As a hunting warrior, you never go hunting and bring something alive, no. I produced my axe and I decapitated his head, and it twisted round and round like a bow, round and round into the laps of the husband, of the wife rather. And that is how the great the great James Livingstone died under my axe. The axe of a black man. Why? Why?
That's why DC Theatre staging a play titled Operation Mandala 1915 on 3rd March, which was Martyrs Day. And a big up to the young people, basically trying to pick up stories, the history of the country. We need to know the history, and that can be done through books as well as doing plays. And a big up to them for showing that courage, researching and coming up with a play titled Operation Mandala 1915. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket for arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banda Jnr. That's the sound of the SAS. As I say, when the SAS is not there, then Infotainment breaks down. But here we go, and today it's another package in this edition of Infotainment. Now from YD Theatre, we move on to another item. The French Embassy on Tuesday engage creatives in the country to hear some of their challenges, to hear their ideas in terms of going forward as far as growing the creatives industry is concerned. So they drew together, the gathering drew together a number of creatives. One of them was a veteran filmmaker, Shem Joy was part of it. Solomoni Peacock's director, MacArthur Matukuta, was also part of this meeting. And they engaged with the French Chancellor on cooperation and cultural action. That's Ludovic Kokoni during the event, as I said, which took place at Jacaranda Cultural Center on Tuesday. And then there were also performances. Performances came from Agoroso Ketura as well as Waliko Makala, the ethno musician. We were there as Infotainment, and we had time to speak to the French Chancellor, Ludovic Kokoni, as well as MacArthur Matukuta, Ella Msiska, who shared more about the happenings of this gathering. Let's see what happened.
There are also some specificity, but there are some things in common. And what is common is this feeling that there is a lot of talent, but this talent is in a box and they cannot breathe, and they need to move, they need to see the world, they need openness, they need to meet other artists, and that's the rationale of art. And all those artists, they are, of course, we have seen in theater, in movies, in music, in visual art, have their own vision and their own challenges, but there is something in common. They are curious about the world, and they know that they have something to bring to the world, and they know that the world has something to bring to them. And these two phrases, that means cooperation, and that's our role. Try to organize the way to make it possible. This cooperation between all those genuine and talented Malawian artists and the rest of the world.
and that's the thing we are trying to do. Keep work happening from young people, but you need to share. You need to travel. We need to welcome people here. It's a space. We can do residencies here for French artists, for artists from South Africa. We can do residence right here.
It's very important because you know, Malawi and France has got that relationship in other terms, but having the person responsible for cultural cooperation or cooperation in general, that's what I can say. It's very important because we are able to communicate, and he was able to understand what we were communicating in terms of like having partnerships between French artists and Malawian artists. That was very important, and also how we can work together. As you know, we are living in the global world.
This has been really important because meeting Monsieur Rudovic and interacting, telling him all the challenges that we're facing and how far we are going and how much we are trying on our art industry. He has jotted down some of the points that we've explained to him, and I'm hopeful that he's going to do something about it.
Yeah, that's how it was. The engagement between the French embassy and the creatives taking place at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre. Now we have a group of young people that walked from Bunda. A group of young people walked from Bunda up to, they will end up in, at Sochi Mountain. It is all to do with the conservation of the environment, particularly looking at the covering of Sochi Hill. And there are about 10 of them. One of them is Yangairo, there's Valentino Morrison, there's Charles Chokani, as well as other players. We had time to meet them actually when they were walking the way at Chimbia, but now they've actually walked some kilometers, and they are now getting to Blantyre. They'll be getting to Blantyre on Sunday, which is very good when you see young people walking for different causes. And we say big up to them, these 10 people, for taking a walk for the conservation and covering of Sochi Hill, moving from Bunda Hill up to Bunda Hill in Lilongwe up to Sochi Mountain in Blantyre. Now we've got to some AOBs. The Malawi Has Talent, which is spearheaded by Times Group through Times Television, has called for entries. So for those people who know they've got talent, different talents, they can make their applications through Times Group, as well as there are options which they've put forward for people to follow to make sure that they are part of this competition. They are targeting to get 100, and the winner will walk away with 5 million, second 2 million, and then third 1 million. On that note, we've come to the very end of Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. And my name is Sam Banda Jnr. I normally say that keep it times as well as Infotainment, and let's continue to support art. But I will leave you with an interview which we had with visual artist Prudence Chivanza. She's one of the artists exhibiting her works at the Beauty in Art, which is taking place at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre, and it will run up to March 18, 2023. I'm out of here. Ciao.
Well, it is a very great opportunity to be part and parcel of the art industry in Malawi, and being a female as well. It is a rare opportunity to actually find women taking part in a male-dominated industry. So it feels it makes us feel very important and well appreciated as
being a film artist? Okay, starting from the theme, which is beautiful art, we are actually trying to portray how art can be used to express the beauty of life, particularly our life as artists. How have you walked the journey being artists, and how have you managed to express our emotions and our views as well as our perspective of life through the art that we produce? Okay, this is a painting of mine which I did, which is on display here at Jacaranda Cultural Center. It was part of the Beauty of Art exhibition, and it's called Lavender. So in this painting, we are actually seeing that there are women who are dancing within that particular scene. So it's just a scene which is showing how we can get the happiness out of art and appreciation of art as well. And what happens when people come together to celebrate the beauty of art as a whole. So for those who didn't manage to come and witness the opening, you can still come at any time. The doors are open. The paintings are on sale. There are opportunities for them to be able to get one of these paintings, to be able to display their living spaces is still there. So I encourage everyone who can be able to get an opportunity to come and grab one painting, at least one painting.